KUCR Creative Media. It is NAMM 2026, the 125th anniversary of NAMM, an organization that brings forth very interesting products and has really advanced the music industry tremendously. And right here we have no exception to that. We are speaking with Ivan from Darkglass Electronics, and I'm a film nut, and there's an Ingmar Bergman film titled Through a Glass Darkly. Did that have anything to do with it?
Unfortunately not.
It's an accident, and who would have thought? But where does the name come from?
The name comes from actually our founder of the company. His name is Douglas Castro. So dark glass sounds kind of like Douglas. So it's kind of like a play on the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the things I noticed immediately is the excellent aesthetics of your product. So these are pedals. They're guitar pedals, but I'm sure you could use them for a whole variety of things.
Well, they're mostly actually bass pedals.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, bass pedals. We also have amplifiers, combo amps, and multi-effects units, and everything that covers bass players' needs.
Okay. All right. I do think of the bass as a bass player and guitar player. I do think of them as a contiguous line.
Okay.
But tell us, what is the concept behind them? I see do they have tubes in them?
No, these are only no tubes in them. Solid state amps. All the pedals also no tubes.
Okay. So are they digital modeling, or how is it done?
No, we have analog pedals and we also have digital pedals. And this one, the anagram, which is let's talk about it. Yeah, this was released last year in April. This is our flagship product right now, and it's a multi-effects unit specifically designed for bass players. So most multi-effects units or pedals like this one usually have a lot of guitar things and not that many things for basses. So we wanted to focus on the needs of bass players. So we put all the things, the tools that allow a bass player to go record in the studio or play show and go on tour in a very compact form factor, and still have all the inputs and outputs that allow you to play professionally or record professionally. So you can plug a bass, you have dual XLR outputs, dual quarter-inch outputs, MIDI out, MIDI in. It also works as an audio interface, and it really allows you to just throw in your gig bag or a backpack and go and play a show.
So as a bass player, I'm concerned about factors like the tonal contour, compression, the percussive attack. How are those elements and others dealt with with your pedals?
Yeah, this one, we have different compressors here. We have different EQs, different amp models. You have also graphical EQs, semi-parametric EQs, so you can really shape the overall tone of the bass to suit any genre you're in, from pop, country, gospel to really hard metal. So you can really cover a wide variety of genres with it.
So let's talk about the range of products that you have. Oh, by the way, you're here near KORG. Are you being distributed by KORG by any chance?
Yeah, we're part of KORG USA.
Oh, okay, very good. And you're sourced. Your company's based in Finland.
Exactly, we're based in Helsinki in Finland.
Wonderful, excellent. All right.
So here we have one of our pedal boards that we have. On the other side we have another one. Here you can see some of our analog pedals, like the vintage Microbes Ultra. This one sounds, like the name suggests, more vintagey, like a traditional 70s style amp, tube amps, but here are no tubes. But for example, we do have a digital cabinet simulation, which really helps when you use distortion, for example. We have a dual Fuzz engine here also, because you can see small form factor, same as this one. This is a simplified version of probably our most well-known product, which is the B7K. We don't have it on this board, but that was the product that put us in the market, especially in the rock and metal community. This is like a smaller form factor of that. Here we have the Alpha and Omega. This is the signature pedal of John Stockman from the band Carnival. It allows you to blend two different distortions in one, and put also the distortion engines in a position where you're blending one circuit with the other one. It's personally one of my favorites. Here we have the Microtubes X, which is a crossover distortion, so you keep the lows completely clean and just distort the highs, which is really useful for rock and metal. We have a noise gate, a cap simulation pedal, which also works as a practice amp and headphone amp. And these two right here are part of our programmable lines, which are digital. and allow you to store presets, for example. Also combine different types of distortions, distortion modes, different cabinet simulations, and have been really well received with the community because they cover a lot of ground of what the other pedal offers, but in just one pedal. And right here, for example, we have our cabinet. This is the 212. In my opinion as well, this is probably the best cabinet we have. It has really nice mid-range, really nice lows, and a lot of definition. Coming up a bit higher, we have our alpha and omega amplifiers. So the pedal that I showed you before, but put in an amplifier format. We have 500 watts and 900 watts, so you can play pretty much any kind of gig. Also included here is a cabinet simulation as well. We have 6-band graphical EQs, compression, drives, different drive modes as well. So it's a very versatile amplifier as well.
Your product offering is very evolved and very full. How long have you been in the business? How's Darkglass been in the business of making these pedals?
I think since founding, close to 15 years more or less. So it's a relatively new company if you put it in the perspective of things.
What would you say would be the, if people are looking for a fresh, original, reliable, flexible pedal, why is Darkglass a good choice?
The pedals are reliable, which in my opinion is the one.
They look very well made.
Yeah, we make them in Finland, so everything is made by a small team of people. They're not mass produced in high quantities, and like I said, reliability is one of the most important things for people to take the gear on the road, that it works. If something were to happen, we support our clients, either repairing the pedals ourselves or sending parts or troubleshooting. I personally, for example, read all the comments on social media, so if something were to pop up, I engage with the customers. If they have questions, I engage with them as well. So we're pretty active with our community of users and customers, which I think the customers value very much. Of course, aside from that, the pedals sound really good. They really work in a musical context. The EQs, the sounds have been tailored to really work in the real world as well.
These look like very premium products. What is the price range? For example, some of these pedals.
It ranges from like around $100 from these small ones to $500-ish on the programmable lines. The cabinets, this one is I think close to, we have a price here, yeah, $1,100 US. The amps also range between 700 to 1,100, I think. So it's definitely something for every budget. It depends on what you need to cover with, what you need for your gig, what you need to play with for your band. Excuse me. It's not super cheap or affordable, but it definitely is a thing of if you're looking for a specific sound that we offer, you probably can find something that's purchasable.
Let's say someone, an intermediary, a bass player, wants to dip their foot into the ocean of Darkglass pedals. What's a good entry point?
I think one of these ones, like we have several of these size pedals, like the Microbes X. We have the vintage Microbes, the traditional one, the B3K. That one is also really good. Probably those three I would recommend. And we also have this one in a smaller version, the Alpha Omicron. So those range from like, I think 220, 250 US dollars more or less. That would be what I would say gets you the most bang for your buck.
Let's stand up here. Want to thank you, Ivan, with Darkglass Electronics for telling us all about the product here today.
Thank you for being here.
KUCR Creative Media, University of California, at the 125th NAMM show here in Anaheim, California, NAMM 2026.